Has Keir lost his mind? It certainly looks that way following the Daily Mirror's exclusive interview. Now, over the last week, we've of course talked about the internal civil war that's happening currently in the Labour Party. And I've never seen a party actually so disjointed since the Tories. And it certainly seems like every day that there is a new MP coming forward and looking to oust Starmer from his position. Now, despite the tables being turned against him, the Prime Minister has come out in an interview and still reaffirmed his position, his ambition for the future, and literally made one of the most outlandish claims that I have heard from him in a long time. As always, guys, we are going to be breaking this down. And of course going through the reaction. There's a lot of video footage to watch, but first, please do hit the like button and hit the subscribe button for more. So first things first, this is the headlines that you're waking up to this morning. Starmer I will lead Labour into the next general election. Keir Starmer has insisted he will defy the apparent will of his own voters and lead Labour into the next general election. A YouGov poll for the Times suggests just a third of people who backed the party last year want the Prime Minister to lead into the next national contest, which is due in 2029 at the latest. And some 23% of those voters think he should quit now. Keir's ratings have plummeted since entering Downing Street, and Labour consistently trail reform in the polls. His Chancellor of course is going to deliver a disaster budget at the end of November and the aftermath of the budget and next year's elections, which include Labour's strongholds of London and Wales, have both been mooted as the time for potential leadership challenge. But speaking to the Daily Mirror, the Prime Minister has attempted to silence the doubts about his position. Asked if he would lead Labour into the next general election, Keir said, "Yes, I will." Keir also said dealing with the cost of living is his main priority and making people feel better off. He said he wanted to give the kids a treat, go out for a meal, have a holiday, get on the progress, and feel safe and secure, and promise that the budget will have Labour values right through it. So despite all of this and despite the sort of internal fightings happening in the Labour Party, we've of course heard about West Streeting more recently now. Angela Rayner, Labour MPs literally turning against him. I mean, you just watched the sort of asylum reform statement yesterday. Labour MPs, I think 16 at the time of recording, oppose it. There is a massive internal fighting at this moment in time, and Starmer still believes that he's going to be the leader. Has he lost his mind? Everything is turning against him. Well, political commentators and former Tory MPs will feel that is certainly the case. As you can see, this is the headlines this morning with regard to Keir. And let's have a watch this video. Tooting his own horn. Maybe because she almost been on all the papers and actually suddenly he needs to try. He's tried Stride and failed to stump on Wes last week. He's worried about the Home Secretary. It will be, John Healey next week talking about something. Defense. The Star team clearly are very worried about what's going on. And even if you look at what he's saying, talking about players on breakfast clubs, that's already happened. None of this is new. stuff anyway. And in my time as a Tory MP, the amount of Tory Prime Ministers I've said who said, "I'll lead our party into the next election." 3 weeks later they're all gone anyway, aren't they? I think the only person who actually led the Tory party to election who said they would is Rishi Sunak, and we all wish he hadn't. So this isn't good news for Labour. Yeah. Benjamin, do you honestly think that circuit star is going to lead the next election because the front of the Times nearly half of all Labour voters want Star out by next election? But also another poll found nearly half of Labour voters wouldn't vote Labour. I don't know how indicative that is, but well, look, I mean, certainly the word in Westminster is that Labour MPs are extremely frustrated. I don't think they're quite the point of organising to get rid of karma, but the budget on the 26th of November will be a massive point, an inflection point of whether that happens. But there is also a sense that they have to do so much unpopular stuff in terms of taxes and spending cuts that actually they'd quite like Karma and Rachel Reeves to do that, because it means that if a replacement Labour leadership came in, they wouldn't be held down by that unpopularity. So I don't think it's going to happen soon. I think May of next year, the local elections, is the point where it could change. I might just point out, if I were a betting man, and I'm not, but if I were a betting man, I would bet that Keir Starmer and Kemi Batenog will not be in their post this time next year. Yeah. I mean, there's the deposit. I mean, that's a reasonable bet, I think. If we look at the mirror, there you go. Sir Darmer, wearing Lord Ali's suit, probably with the same, and glasses, probably with the same tie I've seen him wear like at least 50 times. Talking about flipping breakfast clubs, It's just pathetic, isn't it? This is. I respect that he reuses the same tie. That shows that he's got financial discipline. Don't know what he's doing in Labour. But yeah, he's using the same tie. He's not like one of these women on the catwalk. No, I mean, I think I think I think he's got a chance. He's very good at maintaining discipline and control in Labour. I mean, he's managed to do it for quite a long time so far, and seen off various threats, and Labour might be a lot of Labour backers might be worried about their seats. They might be worried about the direction of the party, but what would be better if Boris Johnson, if the debacle of the Tories taught us anything, it's that changing leaders frequently isn't a recipe for success at the ballot box. I don't see that final point now. I don't see a world in which brings the Ellie leads the Labour Party into the 2029 elections. I just don't see it. There's just too much currently going on. He's putting out fire after fire after fire, and there's almost like zero confidence inside the Labour Party. Look, over the last 7 days, we've heard stuff with Streeting Angela Rayna. We've also got Labour MPs coming out publicly now saying that he needs to be replaced, and especially after this sort of asylum reform, the super liberal MPs, and I didn't realize just how liberal some of these Labour MPs actually were. They're certainly going to be turning against him and Shabana Mahmood and the whole sort of cabinet. I don't see this working out anyway for him. But I do think he'll be used as a scapegoat for the autumn budget, which is coming up later this month. So, watch this space, but also those local elections as well. And they'll be looking to oust them at that point. They're just trying to get their sort of ducks in order, so to speak, as they try and get rid of them. But on the other end, of course, I do think he sent Shabana Mahmood out there the other day to sort of try and save face in terms of send a different message from the Labour Party and take a different route, because he just can't win with the super ultra left-wing liberals as the Green Party being the most outlandish out of them. But then is also like looking to try and claw back some voters, I suppose, from Reform and the Tories, and seeing what they can do there. Certainly. It's panic stations, but I genuinely do think he's lost his mind, that he thinks that he's going to be taking this country or taking the Labour Party into the 2029 elections. I'm interested to know your thoughts. Of course, it's on the front pages this morning. Stanis statement with regard to this, but what do you think? Is he deluded, or do you think he actually believes himself that he is going to be the leader of the Labour Party for the next few years? Let me know in the comments. Hit like, hit subscribe, and I'll see you all next time. Take care. Peace.